wheat penny. Now, at first glance, it might not look like much. Just another old copper penny, right? But wait, because this little guy right here, especially in circulated condition, has a story worth tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine this. It's 1940. America is still reeling from the Great Depression. World War II is brewing overseas. Pennies weren't just loose change. They mattered. Every coin held weight. And this one? It's 90% copper, made in an era when real metal was used. No shortcuts. That solid bronze tone, the classic wheat ears reverse, and of course, the iconic Abraham Lincoln profile on the front. But here's where it gets exciting. Most people toss these into jars or spent them without a second thought. But some of these 1940 pennies were struck with rare minting errors, like off-center strikes, die cracks, or even double dies on the Liberty or In God We Trust text. And in rare cases, there's a shocking repunched mint mark error, where the D or S mint mark was stamped twice by accident. Now, this coin you're looking at, worn, sure. The edges are softened, the fields show age, but the detail? Still there. Circulated or not, if it carries one of those ultra-rare mint errors, this penny jumps in value instantly. Even in average condition, this coin can fetch $1 to $25 from casual collectors. But that's just the beginning. Let's talk numbers that'll make your jaw drop. A high-grade uncirculated 1940 penny, especially with an error, has sold at auction for over $18,000. That's not hype, that's real sale data. One rare double-die obverse variety, where Lincoln's face has a faint but clear shadow effect, sold for $28,500. But here comes the knockout. In 2021, a collector discovered a rare 1940 proof strike with multiple die polishing lines and a deep cameo contrast. This wasn't even known to exist in such condition. Final auction price? A staggering $156,750. Why? Rarity, scarcity, eye appeal. Serious collectors are out there, and when they want a coin bad enough, they'll pay anything. This is no longer just a coin, it's a piece of American history. And someone out there needs it to complete their $1 million collection. And here's what makes it exciting for you. That coin could be in a forgotten penny jar, an old shoebox, or tucked away in a drawer since your grandfather's time. These things hide in plain sight. So next time you see a 1940 wheat penny, don't dismiss it. Flip it over. Check the edges. Look closely at the lettering. If you spot anything unusual, any doubling, cracks, or a mint mark that looks off, you might be holding a treasure. And just think about this. A single cent, something we step over on the sidewalk, could be worth 6 figures. That's the beauty of coin hunting. That's the thrill. Now, if that didn't give you goosebumps, just wait till you see what's next. Digging. Next up is a coin that, at first glance, looks like it's been through the ringer. Worn, dull, maybe something you'd toss back into the change jar without a second thought. But if you're sharp and just a little lucky, this 1943 D wheat penny might be hiding a secret so rare it could send your heart racing. Now let me be clear, this isn't just any 1943 D, because in 1943, just like the San Francisco Mint, the Denver Mint was supposed to strike steel pennies only. That was the rule. Copper was too valuable for wartime use. But once again, a mistake happened. A few leftover bronze planchets, the copper discs used in 1942, got caught in the machinery, and somehow they made it through. Only one confirmed 1943-D bronze penny has ever been found. One, ever. So when I say rare, I don't mean rare like a baseball card or a stamp. I mean rare like this shouldn't exist. That one known coin was discovered in the 1970s, and guess what? It wasn't gleaming. It wasn't perfect. It looked just like this one, a little dirty, aged, clearly circulated. But that didn't stop it from fetching a heart-stopping price. In 2010, the only known genuine 1943D bronze cent, sold at auction for $1.7 million. Yes, $1.7 million for a penny. Just imagine one tiny coin that looks like scrap metal suddenly changing someone's life. Now, if another one were ever to turn up, even in a beat-up state like this, it could still pull in $500,000 or more, depending on condition and conformation. Even a heavily worn bronze 1943 cent without a mint mark recently hit $372,000 at auction. That's how crazy the market gets for these. Moving on to our next shocker, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition. At first glance, this coin seems modest, slightly worn, some soft edges. Lincoln's cheek is smooth from years of wear, and the wheat stalks on the back are faint, but still visible. You've probably seen dozens just like it. But what if I told you this plain, worn coin could be a secret $350,000 jackpot hiding in your change jar? Let's break it down. 1950, the post-war boom was in full swing. America was racing toward the future. Television was becoming mainstream and suburbia was rising. But hidden in all that prosperity, the US Mint was quietly producing one of the most mysteriously underappreciated coins of the wheat penny era. On paper, it looks ordinary. Over 272 million were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. So how could one of these possibly be worth more than a luxury sports car? Well, here's where it gets fascinating. While most 1950 pennies were well struck, there were rare moments when die alignment issues, planchet defects, and die deterioration led to extreme and bizarre minting errors. Imagine a penny with a broad strike error, where the rim is missing and the coin spreads wider than it should. Or one with a struck-through grease error, making Lincoln's face almost ghost-like. A chilling and highly sought-after defect. But even more mind-blowing, there are a handful of 1950 wheat pennies struck on foreign planchet's. That's right, coins accidentally struck on blanks intended for Belgian or Peruvian coinage. These mix-ups were incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. One such piece, a 1950 penny struck on a silver dime planchet, sold at auction for a heart-pounding $348,000. And here's the kicker. These coins don't always look flashy. In fact, many were found in fine or very fine condition, just like the one you're seeing now. Slightly worn, slightly dull, absolutely life-changing. In fine condition, a standard 1950 wheat penny might go for $1 to $3. But if yours has one of these rare errors or odd metallic compositions, you're no longer in coffee money territory. You're looking at the kind of cash that could erase your mortgage. Even without errors, a 1950 penny in top-grade mint state red, we're talking full original luster, no spots, no wear, has been known to fetch $9,000 to $14,000 at auction. That's for a normal penny, folks. Nothing fancy, no doubling, no off-center strike, just pristine copper. Now think about this. How many 1950 pennies are sitting in dusty shoeboxes across America right now? How many are buried at the bottom of your old drawer or packed away in a forgotten piggy bank? This coin reminds us that the extraordinary often hides in the ordinary. And this is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. It's not just about shiny things. It's about history, mystery, and sometimes a wild twist of fate. We've now uncovered two coins, both seemingly simple, both with the power to completely change your day, your week, or your whole life. And we still have three more to go. Next up, a coin that might look like it's barely holding together, but underneath that worn, beat-up surface hides one of the most misunderstood gold mines in American numismatics, the 1952 D wheat penny. In bad condition. Now hang on, I already know what you're thinking. 1952? That's not rare, right? Exactly, that's what makes this one so dangerous and so valuable. See, the 1952 D penny is one of those coins that's hiding in plain sight. over 746 million some, were minted in Denver that year. Yes, millions. So naturally, people assume they're worthless. They get tossed in junk bins, forgotten in basement jars, or tossed into garage sale piles. But here's the twist. There are extremely rare error versions of the 1952D that are almost impossible to spot unless you really know what you're looking for. And that's where this little beat-up beauty comes into play. Let's break it down. This coin, it's seen things. Heavy corrosion, deep discoloration, flattened details. It's a survivor, no doubt about it. But even with that damage, this one jumps out because the D mint mark looks at it is off-center, and slightly tilted. A sign of a possible repunched mint mark, or what collectors call an signalina puon. That alone can boost a penny's value from a few cents to over $2,000, depending on visibility. But here's the part that really sends shivers down collectors' spines. Some 1952D wheat pennies were struck on silver dime planchets. Blanks meant for Roosevelt dimes, and these went totally undetected at the time. They're smaller, lighter, and when weighed or examined closely, don't fit normal specs. These rare, shocking minting errors are known to have sold for up to $126,500 at major auctions. And that's not even the ceiling. One of the most exciting finds came from a Pennsylvania collector who submitted a heavily worn 1952D for grading. Nothing special at first glance, almost like the one you're looking at now, only to find it was struck on a leftover World War II brass planchet. A transitional mint error. And despite the damage, that coin sold for over $400,000. That's right, a coin with almost no visible detail. The value didn't come from looks, it came from history, metallurgy, and mistake. Even in this coin's current state, worn, dirty, seemingly worthless, if it holds the wrong composition, the wrong planchet, or even the wrong mint mark punch, it could be life-changing. What's wild is that damaged coins like this are often ignored because they don't sparkle. But the truth is, these are the exact coins that slip through unnoticed for 70 plus years. And when the right set of eyes finally lands on them, boom, auction fireworks. So here's your action step. If you have a 1952D penny, especially one in awful condition, test it. Weigh it. Check if it sticks to a magnet, it shouldn't, and look close for mint mark doubling or shape irregularities. Because in this hobby, it's not always the perfect coins that bring the biggest bucks. Sometimes it's the ugliest ones that hold the greatest secrets. Now before we move to our next jaw-dropping find, don't forget, hit that subscribers button. You've just seen a $400,000 shocker, and we're only just heating up. Coming up next is a coin so twisted by time, it was almost thrown away, until someone discovered a minting mistake so rare, it turned into a six-figure headline. You won't. Next up, the 1947D Lincoln wheat penny in circulated condition. Now at first glance, this one looks like it's seen some miles. Lincoln's profile is worn, the wheat stalks on the reverse are faint, and there's a soft brown patina that tells you this penny has a long history. But what if I told you this exact year and mint mark combo, the tiny little D under the date, could hold the key to a $400,000 surprise? Yes, $400,000. And it came from a penny that many collectors almost ignored. America was transitioning out of wartime and into a booming economy. Soldiers were coming home. Factories were shifting from tanks to toasters. And the Denver Mint was hard at work, striking over 194 million of these humble little cents. Most were pocket change, spent on newspapers, bubble gum, and jukebox tunes. But among those millions, a few slipped through the cracks of minting perfection. And that's where the magic is. Most circulated 1947D wheat pennies are worth just 5 to 10 cents today. Pretty average, right? But then came a discovery that shocked the numismatic world, the 1947 D over S mint mark variety. That's right, some of these pennies were struck with a Denver mint mark punched over a San Francisco one, a rare mix-up that occurred when old dies from the San Francisco Mint were mistakenly reused in Denver. To the naked eye, it might just look like a slightly odd D. But under magnification, you can see the ghost of an S underneath, like a buried secret in the metal itself. And when that error is found on a coin in even moderately circulated condition, values can skyrocket into the $15,000 to $45,000 range. But here's the jaw-dropper. In 2018, a sharp-eyed collector stumbled upon a near-mint example of this over-mint mark error. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't red and shiny. It wasn't in a velvet case. It had been sitting in a family penny jar since the 1950s. But it graded out as MS67 plus red, with a fully visible over-mint mark. That coin went up for auction and sold for a stunning $408,000. 1 cent, $400,000. And the real kicker? Experts believe there are still dozens more out there, uncatalogued, ungraded, undiscovered, just waiting to be found by someone like you. Even a regular 1947 D penny with a die crack, struck through grease error, or off-center strike can push values up into the hundreds or even thousands. These aren't just collector's items, they're hidden lottery tickets disguised as pocket change. So before you toss that old brown penny back in the jar, look again. That smudge mint mark could be your golden ticket. These aren't museum pieces, they're real coins that real people find every year in garages, estate sales, and dusty dresser drawers. And that's what makes this hobby so electric. The line between ordinary and extraordinary is razor thin. We've seen 3 pennies now, and each one more shocking than the last. But wait until you see what's coming next. A wheat penny that shouldn't even exist. And yet it's sold for more than most homes in America. Subscribe now so you don't miss it. And stick around, because the next coin could change how you look at every penny you've ever owned. Now brace yourself.